The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
He started in a small town in Texas. Worked his ass off to become one of the most famous wrestlers of all time.
We're going to take care of business tonight, and that's the bottom line.
And now he's dominating the world of on-demand audio. And he's doing it for the working man.
This is a damn good outlet for me to spew the bullshit off my brain.
Yeah! This is Steve Austin, Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome to Steve Austin Show. I'm coming to you from the toughest show on television, the set of the Broken Skull Challenge out here in Agua Dulce, California. We're filming this show for CMT, and the season premiere will be September 26th. That is a Tuesday at 10 p.m., 9 Central, only on CMT. Mark it down on your calendar, set it on your iPhone, reminder, and also make sure you set your DVR. This has been the craziest goddamn season I've ever seen in my life. I've been doing this for 5 seasons. This is the damnedest one I've seen. The storylines, I don't even call them storylines because shit happens and it turns into a story. We don't create storylines out here. We have challenges, and the athletes, the best athletes in the United States of America, come out and shit happens in epic fashions. There's been triumphs, tragedy, success, failure, crazy decisions, epic performances, global meltdowns. Man, anything and everything you can think of, it has happened out here this season. And I ain't going to sit here and talk about it too much because you just got to tune in September 26th and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I'll tell you one thing, and like I keep saying, the key word to describe this season, intense. That is what it is from start to finish. Holy smokes. Wait till you see some of the shit that happens on this. Hell, wait till you see the damn trailer to this season, some of the shit that happens out here. Again, before I get into the business of the podcast, I want to say thank you very much to all the athletes who came out this year and had the guts to come out of whatever the world they compete in and just to throw, all caution to the wind where anything can go out here. And this is the roughest, toughest damn show on television, bar none. Thanks to everybody that came out, both the men and the women. And I got to give a quick shout out because we got 2 more days of filming out here before we're done. Thanks to the crew. We got the toughest damn crew in show business. When you're out here on a mountain in the desert, it's like working in a sand blaster, man. The sun's beating down on you, wind's blowing sand, grit, and shit on you. Holy shit, the environment's enough to make most people say, nah, man, I'll tap out and go home. Shout out to everybody that participated on this show, from the athletes who came from around the United States of America to our damn crew. Tough-ass people. I had a blast filming this season. Son of a bitch. Again, the big word here is intense. That's what this show is like for me as the host. Man, to be ready for anything and everything that can happen every single moment while we're rolling cameras, it's absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, I don't want to ramble about that shit too much. Let me take care of a couple of pieces of business, and I want to tell you my truck repair story. I told you guys I was going to be shopping for a new truck. I went and drove a Toyota the other day. I'll pick that story up. I got to tell you guys about this new damn PodcastOne app. It's now available for download at the App Store or Google Play, and there ain't another podcast app like this one anywhere, and that's because the new PodcastOne app is loaded with some cool features that let you do a lot more than just listen to your favorite shows. You can access behind-the-scenes photos, articles, and connect with other fans of the shows you like. And you can watch over 1,000 360 virtual reality videos, and you can actually watch some of your favorite shows in virtual reality. It's like you're sitting right in the same room with them. So get to the App Store or Google Play and download the new PodcastOne app now. Hey man, today I'm finally finishing up all the phone calls we took a couple of months ago. And before we get to those phone calls, I want to give a special shout out to Stacy and Brett for helping me take all those phone calls. There was no topic. It was just a free-for-all. I can't remember shit because I've been hitting the head with so many steel chairs. It was Stacy's idea, and they put forth the time and effort to go to the studio, and we fielded those calls, and the phone lines were lighting up. So thanks for everybody calling, and thanks to Stacy and Brett for helping me get those damn things done. Hey, man, I'm coming to you from the Broken Skull Challenge compound out here in Agua Dulce. It's been hotter than hell. Weather's been damn good, almost, all the way through filming. We had a torrential downpour one day. It came out of nowhere. Fuck, we were ready for an astronomical heat wave to sweep across the West Coast region, and all of a sudden, we're thinking it's going to be hotter than shit, and we get bombarded with a shit pile of rain in a short amount of time, damn near washed everything away. Anyway, everything was good. I had my life jacket on. I'm ribbing you. I can swim. Didn't need a life jacket. I got a Kawasaki mule. We can drive that thing through anything. But anyway, story I want to tell you guys before we get into the phone calls is about my pickup truck. If you remember my pickup truck story from when I left the Broken Skull Ranch, upon selling it, I hooked up to my 6x12 utility trailer. It was empty, and I drove the 1,500 miles from Tilden back to Marina Del Rey, California. My check engine light was on way back then. I called my mechanic in Tilden, Neil Merchant. I said, hey, dude, my check engine light is on. Do you think I'll be okay to make it back to California? He says, yeah, Steve, it could be a O2 sensor or something like that, but you should be solid. I took his advice, and he was right. I made it all the way back to Los Angeles, no problem, other than the fact that 5.3 motor from 2003 is weaker than a kitten. Nonetheless, I love my fucking truck. But when I was coming out here to the Broken Skull Challenge 5 weeks ago, I loaded a bunch of shit in my truck, my air assault bike, all my stuff, my bow, my target, batteries for my motorcycles. Shit, I broke out my bow and my target. I ain't had a chance to even put a damn arrow in my bow, knock it, pull it back, and fling it towards the target because I ain't had time. The 2 batteries I got for my dirt bike and my scooter, I ain't even put them sumbitches in yet because I ain't had time to fuck with none of it. That's how busy the schedule is out here. And that's how under the gun we are with time. We're filming the toughest damn show on television, period, end of story. I'll go on with the damn story. So anyway, as I loaded my truck up to come out here, I noticed, man, my check engine light started flashing intermittently. And there was a rough idle once I started my truck up. It was running like shit. And one time when I stopped to gas it up out here, I was like, man, I'm about 3 miles from my house. Maybe I should just turn around, get the Bronco, and just come back out there and that because this truck is running like shit. And I said, fuck it. Because I'm so ADD, ready to get out here, I said, fuck it, I'll take a chance. Well, the truck made it out here, and it made it back to the house. And then I told my wife, Kristen, I said, you know what, we got to put this fucking truck in the shop. I got to find out what's wrong with it. So we took it to a GMC dealership and dropped it off. The guy says, hey, man, what's wrong with this thing? Well, I went through the whole list. When I got my oil changed, the people over there at the 10-minute oil change, whatever the fuck it's called, told me that I had a gasket leak, and I think it was under the valve cover or the head gasket. Anyway, there's a lot of oil pouring out of the damn thing. And I also had a front left hub that was leaking, so I needed to get that checked out. And along with, obviously, the motor missing and at rough idle and not running worth a shit, I need to get that addressed. So I took it in there, told the guy all those things, said, I'll give you a call tomorrow. So he calls me the next day. He says, man, you're looking at an EGR sensor, O2 sensors. All your spark plugs need to come out, need to be replaced, and we need to put a new wire, and we need to put new wires on it and some other shit. And he goes, with parts and labor, he said, that's going to be $1,600. $1,600? God damn. That ain't even for the hub. That ain't for the goddamn valve cover gasket or the head gasket, whatever the hell it is. That's for basically a spark plug wires and some bullshit sensors and a couple of other things. $1,600? I said, God damn. I said, who you got working on my truck? Ted Fowler 361? His fucking price is higher than giraffe pussy. $1,600. I know motor's running like shit. I get it. I told the guy without fucking missing a beat, I said, well, God damn. I said, you going to include a new motor with that? And he goes, no, we're not replacing the engine. It's the spark plug wires and plugs and all the other stuff. I said, damn, dude, I'm just ribbing you. I'm not I'm not being serious. I know you're not going to replace my motor. I said, I'm asking you about the $1,600 because that sounds like a shit pile of money to do that kind of repair. And he goes, well, you want me to see if I can get the price a little bit cheaper for you? And I'm thinking, hello, McFly. Well, goddamn right, I'd like the price to be a lot lower than you just quoted me. Fuck, I'd like to pay as little as possible. If you tell me, hey, Steve, we can get your truck, going to take some new plugs and wires, going to cost you about $300, fuck, I'd jump over the moon because I was so goddamn happy. Yeah, I'd love for you to see if you can get the price down. Fuck, it's not like I'm buying a new vehicle here and I'm negotiating the price of a new car. We're talking about a repair. He goes, well, the guy who quoted me 5 hours of labor on the motor, and he starts running through the list. I said, hey, dude, I know you got bills to pay. I know everybody's got to get paid. Everybody's got to make their money. But, yeah, if you can help me out a little bit, I'd appreciate it. Fuck. I thought my wife was going to have to do CPR compressions on my chest because my heart damn near skipped a beat when my cheap ass heard $1,600. I looked at my wife and said, well, goddamn. I said, fuck, I might as well buy a new truck. That's $1,600 without even covering the hub or the goddamn leak. Son of a bitch. Then he asked, well, you want me to see if I can get the summits a little bit lower? Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. Fuck, I'd love to have it done for free. $1,600 for spark plugs and wires? Boy, I tell you what, it's got to be every goddamn sensor on top of that damn motor. I want to get an itemized price check on everything in a price check on a jackass. Shit, I'm the jackass on this thing. What would have happened had I just taken it to just a regular mechanic? I wonder if they'd have tried to pull the damn wool over my eyes. Or maybe if I walked in and said, hey, man, shit, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin's pickup, man. We're going to charge that shit out of him. I don't know what the strategy was, but you talk about getting my attention and opening up my eyes. Motherfucker, good thing I don't spend no money because I'm about to spend a shitload on repairs. I tell you what, I am not impressed with the 5.3 motor. The old 5.3 motor. I just got finished driving a current 5.3 motor that has 355 horsepower. That's a strong motor, and that's an outstanding motor. So the old one that I got, when I'm just zipping around town on flat surface, that sumbitch is fine. It'll haul ass. It's got a shift kit in it. I got headers and exhaust system on it, and I took the supercharger off. Just going down flat pavement, just hauling a couch here or there, whatever. That truck is fine. Just don't try to load it up with the trailer, put a big-ass mule on it, and expect to go climb up a big-ass mountain. Don't ask it to do that. But hell, I love my pickup. And I told my wife, well, fuck. If we're going to get the sumbitch fixed, I said she might as well just keep it. You know, I only use it every now and then. So maybe I'll look at trying to get a bigger SUV since we need something to haul the dogs around. Maybe that would be a better option. It's not like I drive my pickup every day out here in Los Angeles. And if you've heard my podcast before, trying to park that cab-and-a-half long bed pickup in underground parking in Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, all them bullshit places out here that I got to go to, shit, you might as well be driving a freight train. You got to valet park every goddamn thing you get over here unless you got, outdoor parking, and then you can navigate. But still, it's tight. It's tight. I see work trucks all the time. If you live in Los Angeles, say, goddamn, Steve, it can't be that bad. No, motherfucker, I'm one of the best drivers in the world. It can be that bad. When I can't park a truck in an underground parking lot, there's a fucking problem. And it ain't with me. It's the size of that truck because Los Angeles is built for a compact or a mid-sized car. End of story, bottom line, period. So that's my goddamn truck repair story. I tell you what, once they fix that goddamn truck, it's got 80,000 miles on it right now. I've already set a goal. I'm going to try to put 200,000 miles on it unless, I get the new car bug down the line. I don't think I will, as cheap as I am. But motherfucker, maybe I'll get an SUV. Something to haul the dogs around. Let me decompress for a second. Let me take it. They always tell you, breathe in, out. Don't forget to breathe. And I'm listening to these motherfuckers like, goddamn, I've been alive 52 years. Ain't nobody never had to remind me to breathe. It's just one of those natural instincts that comes naturally to me to stay alive. I fucking breathe. This time, I'm forcing myself. Inhale, exhale, through the nose. Through the nose. I don't know why it's through the nose, but it's through. My goddamn noses are still stopped up right now. I got these deviated septums that are broke to shit. Got all sand blowed in them. I can't even use my nose right now. Fuck, if I had a big old line of... Never mind. I ain't going there. Fuck it. You're in for a hell of a show. I'm glad to have you here. I appreciate you listening to the show. I appreciate you hitting the download button. Fuck, if you'd subscribe to this pile of shit, I'd appreciate that too. This is a Steve Austin Show Unleashed. I got a one-man clusterfuck going here, fast and furious. I got a $1,600 truck bill on my menu, and that ain't including the gasket and the fucking hub. I'm probably looking at driving that bitch out of there probably to the tune of upwards of $2,500. That's me just guessing. I'll give you the story when I pay the some bitch, and I'll probably have to put it on a payment plan. Fuck, I'll put it on layaway. Motherfuckers.
This is Adam Carolla from The Adam Carolla Show. If you care about predictions, you care about props. And right now, it's all about playoff pressure from the hardwood to the ice. Every possession, every shift, every shot, well, it all matters. BetOnline has always been the home of real sports betting. Deep markets, sharp odds, and player props built for fans who know these games aren't random. The NBA playoffs are heating up, stars taking over, series swinging on a single score, and in the NHL, it's all speed, grit, and sudden death moments where one goal changes everything. Lines tighten, pressure builds, and BetOnline delivers live betting and in-game odds that move with every bucket, every breakaway, every goal. This is where the action happens, where experience shows and where the smallest edge makes the biggest difference. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This is Steve Austin Unleashed.
Let's go to Cash.
How we doing, Steve? First of all, I just want to say thanks for taking this question. And I also want to say I really appreciate everything you've done for the pro wrestling business and making pro wrestling cool for forever. You know what I mean? But my question for you is, I'm a 19-year-old former football player in high school, 6'1", about 290. I'm really thinking about breaking into the professional wrestling business. Is there any advice you can give me for that? Also, would you recommend that I get into shape, work on my cardio before starting training, or just let the trainer whip me into shape?
Oh, dude, you don't want to start working on your cardio when you get in the business. That damn ring will kill you. You will blow up so fast. Let's go back to the basics. Did you graduate high school yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I always recommend everybody at least graduate high school. Man, you got to find a good place that will train you, that's local. I don't know in the Chicago area of the wrestling background or the landscape of who's training out there, but you got to find you a good camp, a reputable camp that can help you learn the business or get your foot in the door, or, send WWE some tape and try to get recognized and go down there to NXT, down there to the Performance Center. At 6'1" and 290, former football player, what position you play? D-line, O-line?
Yeah, D-line.
Okay, how's that 290? In shape?
Just about, yeah, pretty whipped in shape, yeah. I'm in football shape, but I hear a lot about in-ring shape is nothing like it, you know what I mean?
Man, you take football and multiply it times 10, and I say that and you think, oh, man, you're kidding me. I'm not. Everything is sped up. The adrenaline's firing, the testosterone's firing. You're in front of a live crowd, and when you go on a flurry of punches or kicks, or you're trying to work a body part or try to sell for a guy, you will blow up quick. So ring conditioning is of paramount importance. Here's the thing. When someone pays $20 to see you wrestle cash, they don't want to see you out there huffing and puffing and trying to catch your breath. They want to see you out there beating the hell out of the bad guy, or if you are the bad guy, torturing the good guy so he can make his comeback on you. They didn't pay to see you or me back in the day lay there because we're breathing hard, because we're not in shape and we're gassed out. In-ring shape is of real importance. When I first came to the WWF way back in the day, I came out of ECW and I just had my right tricep reattached. So I was not in ring condition. I started wrestling a 2-month program with a guy named Savio Vega. Savio Vega was an old school worker from Puerto Rico. I was working heel or bad guy, and he was the baby face or good guy. Well, I had to shine him up, and then I had to get some heat on him. During the heat, I was too tired to beat him up, so I laid in a rear chin lock so I could catch my breath. And then I had to flip-flop and fly for his comeback for the finish. So I was in such bad shape. After 2 months of working with Savio Vega, 2 months, it wasn't overnight, I was in the best ring shape of my life. And that would propel me to the work style that I adapted to after being dropped on my head there in the WWF. But, man, you got to be in shape, because if you're not, you will not last long. Have you done any looking around in the Chicago area of reputable schools to train?
I found 2, actually, but I visited both of them. The first one I found was this really beat up, dingy place. And you know, I hear a lot of stories about it. It doesn't really matter how beat up the place is, you know, it's really the training. But I sat and watched the training. I wasn't really feeling how they were doing it, and it was really unorganized and everything. Another one I found was actually really good is Run Through. I don't know if you're familiar with Steve Boz, but it's run by him, and he does an incredible job. I really like what I saw. Right now, that situation was just really getting the money together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I liked what I saw from him. Everything looked really professional. It was a pretty good thing. And then he had a gang of talented kids in there, man. Like a gang of talented guys. Like guys who were only a few weeks in who looked like pros, at least through my eyes. You know, I'm pretty sure they needed a lot more work, but it looked really good.
Well, let me ask you a question. You watch WWE every Monday or Tuesday?
I do.
If you see somebody, who do you think you would emulate your style after?
I would say more so Luke Harper. I think Luke Harper is a pretty good, you know, as far as the size, build, everything like that goes, as well as the way he works. I really admire a big guy that could really move around. I think I'm pretty agile for my size. And, you know, I see a lot of that in Harper. Another guy I like is Samoa Joe. I think that guy's pretty, you know. Luke Harper's
a great talent, and Samoa Joe is one of my favorite workers in the business right now and has been for quite some time. Can flat out work his ass off. Find someone. If you can't find no one in Chicago, check out down there in Evansville, OVW, Rip Rogers. You talk about a hell of a damn trainer. He's trained some great ones. But find someone who teach you right from wrong and teach you the right way, the first time, and best of luck to you.
Appreciate it, Steve. It's a pleasure talking to you, man.
Hey, pleasure talking to you. Find you a reputable trainer and someone who will teach you some knowledge in the ring, mechanics, psychology, and you get yourself in shape, and the ring will get you in shape as well. Good luck to you. Let's go to Neil in Dallas.
Oh, my God. Hey, Steve, I'm one of your biggest fans ever.
Man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you calling in the show.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what do you think is your most underrated match in WWE? One that you think was really good, but maybe just for whatever reason didn't receive a lot of publicity or doesn't get talked about too much?
Man, that's really making me go over the memory banks, and it's hard to just pull one out that I thought was so great, but no one else did. It goes to show that I take a realistic look at the body of work that I turned in, and I don't remember half of the body work I turned in. But If you go back to that match it's an underrated match, but everybody knows it was a good, solid, older school match, was the match I had with Bret the Hitman Hart in Madison Square Garden. I'm guessing that was 96 or 97.
Yeah.
That match, it was more of a scientific match. We weren't in the middle of a feud. And Bret was making his comeback from a knee surgery or had some technique done to his knee, and he needed an opponent to come back to. He handpicked Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm just very thankful that he picked me to have that match with, because I thought we really tore the place up that night. We told a good story, and as far as a match, I would say it was a really good match, but underrated, an underrated classic.
Definitely. And I just wanted to say, can you give a quick shout out to my friend Jeremy, who's also a big fan of yours?
Hey, Jeremy, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I appreciate all the support over the years, and that's the bottom line, because I said so.
Thank you so much, Steve. This has been a dream come true to talk to you on the phone like this.
Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Let's go to Houston. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hi. First of all, I want to thank you for being a great inspiration in my life. Second, I'm your biggest fan. Like, literally, I have everything of you, blankets, cookie jars, everything. And thank you for that, for everything. My question is, how do you stay fit throughout the years that now that you're making movies and not in wrestling anymore?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm trying to get back in better shape. I just try to lift weights 5 or 6 days a week. Sometimes I lift 7 days a week, and then sometimes something will come up and I miss. Normally, I'll do cardio. I kind of stopped doing that for a while. I just got my cardio back in, whether it's 30, 45, or 60 minutes a day. Just working out, just doing regular type workouts, nothing special, nothing overly scientific, just trying to be consistent with what I'm doing, trying not to drink too much beer, and trying to be consistent and try to just keep grinding, because you have to keep grinding at it or you'll just fall off. I appreciate you calling into the show.
It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Let's go to Matthew. Hey, Matthew, how are you?
Doing good, Steve. How are you?
Man, I'm just answering phone calls and taking questions and spitting out answers. You got something for me tonight?
Yeah, I was wanting to know, I know you probably don't read into rumors much, but the rumor is Brock's holding the Universal Championship until WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, if Brock's holding the Universal title till WrestleMania, I'm fine with it. Brock's a former UFC champion. He's the biggest, most legit guy in the business right now. He's a hell of a damn performer, hell of a damn worker. He's a genetic freak. He's a looming, charismatic presence. Paul Heyman is phenomenal. I think it's great if he holds on to that belt till WrestleMania. What do you think?
It depends on who they book him with until leading up to WrestleMania. Some people like Finn, maybe Bray, I feel like they might deserve it. I know Finn never got his rematch from getting injured, so that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit.
Man, it was too bad when he went down with that injury, when he got that buckle bomb. But injuries happen. You know, that's not on Brock. Deserving. I'm looking forward to Finn Balor. I'm looking for big things out of this kid. Good-looking guy, hell of a damn worker, good charisma. He's going to be a superstar. He's got some ways to go, but nobody's going to, like you said, if he's holding on that belt, I like the storyline because it's credible. I can believe that. Whoever's time it is next will come when Brock is through holding on to that belt according to storyline.
Do you think it'd be Roman that beats him at WrestleMania, then Roman takes over? It's kind of like the Brock John Cena of the next gen?
Man, I have no idea, but that's the thing. I consider and try to book it, but I just like to watch it. And so I watch all the pay-per-views, and I don't get a chance to watch the product on a weekly basis, so you probably know more about the ongoing storylines than I do. But, you know, if it's his time, it'll be his time. He's still finding his way and getting his feet under him, you know, so to speak, in the business. Storylines hot and cold and stuff like that. But Roman Reigns is going to be just fine whether he has that belt or not. But we'll see what happens if we get to WrestleMania. The good thing about being in the business for as long as I was, you know, to be out of the business, I just get a chance to watch it and enjoy it. And I get a lot of damn entertainment just watching the internet, you know, go ballistic over booking decisions. You know, I like to just watch the shit on TV for what it is and not think about booking. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. But, hey, Matthew, I appreciate you calling the show.
All right, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
Take care, man. Let's go to Lubbock. Jimmy.
What's going on, Steve?
Oh, man, just sitting here talking to you. What's on your mind?
Well, first I'd like to say it's nice to be talking to a global, international, and national treasure. So,
No, hold on. You messed it up. It's a global icon and a national treasure. We got to get this shit right.
My bad. I'm sorry. You got me a little flustered here. I've been watching you since '91, and you and Bobby Eaton were my favorites when I was watching WCW. So, well, besides Sting, that's kind of what leads me to my question. I was curious what it was like being thrown into the Dangerous Alliance and working with Sting.
Man, going into the Dangerous Alliance was awesome because basically everybody that was in that thing was in a Hall of Fame. Bobby Eaton ain't gone in yet, but he should go in. It's part of the Midnight Express. I was telling someone earlier, when I won that TV title off Bobby Eaton in, 91, hell, it damn near hurt my feelings because I had so much respect for the guy, but I wasn't going to say no to taking a belt. But, hell, I couldn't lace that guy's boots at the time. So Bobby Eaton's phenomenal. Larry Zbyszko, phenomenal. Rick Rude, phenomenal. Arn Anderson, Medusa, hell, she's in the Hall of Fame. To me, I was the youngest guy in that group, youngest guy in the business. Everybody that I talked to had so much experience, was at a different level. So, hell, I picked the brains of all of them and learned from every single one of them. So it was absolutely awesome, to answer your question. A wealth of knowledge, and I was a knowledge seeker.
I definitely loved your work in the ring back then. I loved it when you were stone cold as well. I think a lot of people don't give you enough credit for some of your earlier stuff that you did, especially in WCW. And, I mean, like I said, I've always been a huge fan. Even as a 6-year-old, I recognized your in-ring work, and same with Bobby Eaton. He's probably my favorite besides Hennig or Savage.
Man, I tell you what, Savage is off the charts. His intensity, his execution, his commitment to go out there and have outstanding matches. Bobby Eaton, and I only got to work with Macho Man one time. I did a job for him in Orlando one time, and they weren't doing anything with me. And I really don't remember the match, but he was flat out awesome from what I remember in his USWA days throughout his whole career, especially his peak in WWF.
Absolutely. So do you have any memories of working with Sting?
Here's my first memory of Sting. I was down there in the USWA trying to run hard in my angle with Chris Adams, and Matt Bourne, who was no longer with us, approached me and said, Hey, Steve, WCW is doing a television taping at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia. I think we ought to go down there and see if we can meet some people. Well, I wanted to go to WCW. I wanted to go to the next level, so I said, okay, let's go. We rode down there in a car all the way from Dallas to Atlanta, Georgia. And we get there. We go to back, Center Stage. They got a TV taping. Nobody's ever heard of me. Everybody's heard of Matt. He's been around. He's a veteran. I just walk around. Hell, I've been in the business about a year and a half. Hell, I figure, hell, I'm a pro wrestler. So introduce myself to everybody backstage. There's Sting. And I go to introduce myself to him and say, hey, man, I'm Steve Austin. And he kind of looks at me. That look like, what the hell are you doing back in our dressing room? And as he just kind of shakes my hand and nods his head, and I was thinking, well, that was kind of weird. He wasn't happy to see me. Man, he didn't know who the hell I was. He was fixing to go out there. At that time, Sting was on fire. Man, when he went out to Center Stage, that guy would light that building up. Those neon green tights, a spiked hair, good-looking guy with the face paint on. I didn't think for 2 seconds that when I first got there, I'd end up working with the guy. So working with him was a blast. He was so over, you could almost never mess up a match. Although one match I called at an outdoor show, I screwed up bad, called a shitty match. But Sting was super over, and he was very fun to work with.
Bled all over the place at War Games, brother.
War Games was a fun match, and I'll tell you about that next time you call into the show.
All right, appreciate you taking the time, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in.
This is Steve Austin, Unleashed.
Hey, let's go to Fontana. Hey, Freddie, how are you?
Pretty good, Steve. How are you?
Man, and having a damn day in paradise over here with these headphones on, talking to you. What's on your mind?
Oh, not much, man. If I could put you over real quick, and I also had a question for you, if you don't mind, sir.
You got it.
Yeah, man, I was 13 years old, and I turned on the television, and there you were, man. You were saving Stephanie McMahon from The Undertaker, about to have this unholy marriage on TV, and that's what it was for me, man. I was just a stone cold mark from here to, I'm 30 years old, and I've been supporting you ever since.
Hey, man, those were some good times back in the days, and when I got out of business, I would have liked to stuck around a little bit longer than I did. But I'll tell you what, when I look back, I had so many good times and good memories. It was an absolute blast. I appreciate your support. What do you want to ask me about? What can I answer for you?
Absolutely, sir. So I actually, so your last match was with The Rock. I was just wondering, I don't see too much of intensity that can match you with the current superstars. I saw it in CM Punk. Your level of aggression and intensity in the ring. You don't see it too often these days. I also see it in Kevin Owens, but I was just wondering if you could have one more run or at least one more match, who would it be? My guess is it would have been CM Punk, but it could have changed at this point. I was just wondering about that.
Oh, man, there's so many guys out there that I wish I could have tied up with. Earlier, someone asked me from almost any area or any region, and I said, Hulk Hogan was on that list. But when you bring up CM Punk, God dang, the promos that I could have had with that guy, the matches I could have had with that guy, it would have been like a walk in the park, and it would have been so fun. I'll tell you something, Freddie. When we filmed the 2K television spot, I guess it was about 3 or 4 years ago now. I can't remember what 2K game it was, but Jim Ross was sitting between us.
2K13.
Yeah. CM Punk was in one chair. I was in the other. I'd been out of business for a pretty good while. And they started saying, basically how we're going to do this. And, hey, man, that was unscripted, Freddie. Jim asked the questions. Yeah. He had his questions written down, but, it kind of reminded me of that old setup between myself and The Rock before we hooked it up in Houston at WrestleMania 17.
Oh, absolutely.
It was damn near a shoot. And when I got into kind of, I don't want to say character, but I live my life as Steve Austin now, have for a long-ass time. So I told Punk, I said, hey, man, I said, I can't be no, retired Steve Austin guy. I said, I got to be Stone Cold. I said, I'm going to be bringing it. And so I brought it, and you could feel the tension in that room. And if you watch that back, you can feel the tension coming through that damn television screen or computer screen, whatever you're watching it on. And Punk was right there with me. I don't know what he was expecting out of me, and I don't know what I was expecting out of him. It was a one-take deal. We didn't do it again. So what you got is what they shot in one take, and that's the kind of pro that CM Punk is. That's how fun it was, and you can feel that damn energy coming to the screen. Hell, I get excited just talking about it. So, yeah, I would have loved to have a match with CM Punk. It ain't never going to happen, and CM Punk is, he's still young enough to get in the ring, so we'll see what happens from there. But an awesome wrestler and a tremendous promo in CM Punk.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that video 100 times. It really was like when you and The Rock were, sitting alongside with JR right before 17. It was just that intense, and it could have fooled me, man. I thought that was a promo leading into a WrestleMania bout between the two of you.
Well, and it was a shame because, they actually had to, like CM Punk said, I think just, in the video game, you could see this match up because we had to, kind of like, hey, man, this ain't really going to happen. There's some tension here between the two of us, but this shit is just going to happen on the video game. Me and Stone Cold ain't going to lock horns, so I kind of had to put that disclaimer in there. But, hey, we felt it. And, hey, Freddie, I appreciate you calling in the show, and thanks for hanging on the hold.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you for taking my time, and I wish you all the best, and thank you for all the memories and the time you gave to us as Stone Cold, and we'll definitely never forget it, and there won't be another Stone Cold, man.
Hey, man, I had a blast. I appreciate the support, and that's the bottom line. Hey, man, let's go with Joshua in Virginia.
How's it going, Steve?
Yeah, man, another day at the office. How are you?
Doing all right. I have a few beers.
Hey, man, I'm not having any beers right now. I got a glass of water in front of me, but when I get to the house, I think I'm going to pour a shot of whiskey.
That sounds good to me.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
I was curious if you're into basketball or not.
Basketball is like baseball season to me. There's so many games, and I'm so short on attention span, I wait for the playoffs. Now, football from Jump Street, I watched the whole season. What did you want to ask me about LeBron James?
Yes, I was going to ask, who would you take, LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Hell, I'd take one of each.
One of each? Sounds like a plan.
Oh, man. In their prime, because Michael Jordan came up, and well, it's still my era, but I grew up on Michael Jordan, and I'll never forget, we were at Cleveland Gund Arena when LeBron had just gotten drafted, and he was a rookie, and he was sitting on the front row in the crowd while we were there at Gund Arena, and I came out, and I was pretty hot at the time, and now all these years has gone by, and, of course, he ascended right to the top just like everybody thought he would. I think he's one of those once-in-a-lifetime performers. Same with Michael Jordan. Because I was such a kid back in the day when Jordan was around, I looked up to him, no pun intended, because he's taller than me. Both guys are taller than me. But I was a younger guy back then. I appreciate what LeBron's doing and bringing to the game. He's unbelievable. But for me, just because Jordan has that mystique, I just got to go. I got to go Michael Jordan just off the mystique. But both guys are phenomenal.
That's understandable. Like I said, I grew up. I didn't get a chance to watch Jordan. I've enjoyed LeBron's career, so that's kind of why. I guess I'm kind of biased, but.
So, hey, man, either way you pick, you win. But it's just, and that's purely subjective. Yeah, Michael's got 6 titles right now. But, titles are titles, and performance is performance, and both guys are awesome. So, hey, that's about as in-depth as basketball as I can go. I appreciate you calling in, Josh. We'll have a cold beer for me.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, man. Hey, man, let's go to Zachary in Houston. Hey, Zachary, how are you?
Good, and you?
Hell, man, I'm doing good. What's on your mind?
So I was curious to know, since you sold Broken Skull Ranch, will this show be still taking place in Texas somewhere?
No, here's the thing. I've always told everybody this. A lot of people think that the Broken Skull Challenge is filmed at the Broken Skull Ranch in South Texas. Now, we actually considered that when I pitched CMT the idea for the show, but logistics come into play. And when you're at the Broken Skull Ranch, it's in the middle of nowhere in South Texas. So it would have been hard to get the athletes there. You would have been able to find, the 80, 90 people who work on the set every single day. It was undoable, actually. It could have been done, but it would cost a lot more to do it. We filmed that show in Agua Dulce, California, which is 50 miles out of Los Angeles. And so I've always told people that's where we filmed the show. And they say, hey, man, I was wondering because that didn't look like South Texas. No, it doesn't look like South Texas, but it's the best location for this show just because it's tough. That organic setting, we're on a mountain range in the middle of the desert, is hotter than hell 95% of the time, and it just fits the nature of that show. We are basic, simple. There's nothing fancy out there. Thank God there's an air conditioning system when you go in your trailer, but I'm looking for the best athletes in the world to come out. We start filming that show again in July, and I'm looking forward to getting season 5 underway and giving you some badass television because I think this is going to be the changes that we've made so far. I think are going to blow your mind.
Yeah, because that's what my dad and I would watch all the time is just Broken Skull Ranch, and we were like, oh, wow, that was in Texas. But now that you said it's in California, it's like, oh, interesting.
Everything is easy from a film standpoint, so it works. Fly into LAX, get those people here. You got people coming from all over the United States of America, put them through their physical, run them through the ringer. Hell, those athletes come out to the Broken Skull Challenge have already been through the ringer before I put them through 3 rounds of competition and give them the right to fight for that skull buster. So swig of protein to all them athletes. I'm looking forward to seeing you this season at the Broken Skull Challenge. In my estimation, the toughest, baddest, coolest show on television, and that's the bottom line. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Take care, man. Let's go to Tyler up there in Ottawa. He's been waiting a long time. Hey, Tyler, calling in from Canada. I appreciate you waiting all this time. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing, Steve Austin?
Outstanding. What's on your mind tonight?
You know what? I want to know how you feel about that Booker T fight in that supermarket way back when.
God dang, man, I think we filmed that in Fresno, California at the Green Frog Supermarket. Holy shit, man, when they hit me with that idea, I was like, God dang, man, this is crazy. Man, I think I met Booker T for the first time down in WCW. We've been friends ever since we met, got along great, and had great matches together. And so when they dropped that storyline on us, Booker's like, he's one of those kind of guys, Booker, boy, when he lights up, he can electrify an entire arena. And just the things that we did, he was very giving to let me do all the stuff to him. It was amazing. It was like you're doing this one single time. You get any redos. You can't get Booker cleaned up. Once we start, we ain't stopping. All that stuff, I kind of walked through the supermarket, with Booker T. I also walked through the supermarket without Booker T. And we just kind of like talked a little bit because I didn't want to do
kind of thing.
I didn't want to do anything that that he didn't want to do because he's giving me his body and I'm hitting him with all these groceries and stuff like that. It was a real fun day. I didn't expect that. Whoever came up with that idea at the time was it was a great idea. And when you can go, you tell great stories in the ring and entertain people with great matches. I'm a fan that likes to watch the in-ring action, but I also want to see that good shit out there. Like in a supermarket or a vignette that I can believe in, and that we pulled that off like a total shoot. And that price check on a Jackass still gets people tweeting me damn near every day about that because it was so iconic. But me and Booker, we always had good chemistry in the ring when we worked, and we always had good chemistry anytime we did anything out of the ring. So I got to take my hat off to Booker T because he was a bigger part of it as I was.
Awesome. I just got to say one thing my dad had asked me to say. He said, how did Booker T like that flour shower when you dumped that flour all over him?
Man, I'm telling you again, that's that one shot. You can't redo it. And we were live and just right to tape. So it was cool, man. It was an absolute blast. And hell, he had to take a hell of a shower after that day at the office. And damn near ripped his britches off of him. But we kept it PG style, but we was very aggressive. Hey, Tyler, thanks for calling in, man.
Steve, it's a pleasure, man. I can't believe it. It's an honor, and take care.
Appreciate it, man. Take care. Yeah, let's go to Cameron in Bakersfield. How about you, Cameron? You got your ears on?
Sure do, man.
What's happening?
Not much, dude. What about you?
Just sitting here in the studio, and your name was on the list. I said, hey, man, let's talk to Cameron in Bakersfield, California, home of Buck Owens.
So you're a country fan, I hear, huh?
Dude, I'm country. I'm heavy metal, old school R&B, Motown stuff. I'm a little bit of everything. I'm not real current, though.
Okay. Well, that's actually my question is I want to know what your favorite band is.
Man, I tell you what, when I work out every single day at my little gym in my backyard, it's a straight-up shoot. I keep my radio. I don't listen to radio. On Pandora Radio, and I pay, so I ain't got to listen to the commercials, so it costs me, $3.99 a month, and it's worth it. And I have my Pandora Radio set to Slaughter. And on Slaughter Radio, they're playing Iron Maiden, they're playing Boston, they're playing Van Halen, they're playing Tesla, Megadeth, Metallica. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm into. One of the songs, one of the bands that was playing the last few days is Boston. And when you ask me to name my favorite band, I can't give you a favorite because there's too many of them that I love and enjoy, although Stevie Ray Vaughan is my favorite guitarist. Boston, when that first album came out, More Than a Feeling, 30 years ago, man, that thing just blew my doors off. Then the Don't Look Back album after that, and what was it, Third Stage, I think, after that. And then it kind of started fading out a little bit. But that first album by Boston, for me, is so damn timeless. It's still outstanding today. And every song on that album resonates with me, and I get joy out of it. And that was, Jesus Christ, over 40 years ago. So that's the impact that band has had on me. So I'm going Boston.
Okay, well, that's amazing that an album can make you feel like that even after this long, you know? It's crazy.
Okay, give me your favorite.
My favorite, one of my favorites lately is, and you might know them because you're from Texas, but do you like Pantera?
Oh, man. Yeah, you kidding me? Yeah, I'm way down with Pantera. No pun intended. I couldn't believe when Dime got shot years ago. That was just unbelievable. I saw Phil Anselmo when he was touring with Superjoint way back in the day when Glenn Danzig was the headline here in Los Angeles. It was about 13 years ago when I first came to L.A., and it was a damn good concert. I can't remember who else was on the bill, but I got to hang backstage and talk with Danzig for about an hour and a half. And the guy went out of his way to be accommodating. It was such a nice, intelligent guy. I had a fucking blast. So anyway, Phil wasn't sounding very good at that point as Superjoint, but as Pantera, holy shit, those guys were fierce. Yeah, big-time Pantera fan. Favorite song would be Cowboys from Hell and then Cemetery Gates.
Those are amazing songs, dude.
I appreciate you calling in.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, man. I really do.
Take care, Cameron. Let's go to Phoenix, Arizona, Christian. Hey, Christian, how are you?
Doing good.
What's on your mind tonight?
I was wondering if you've ever heard of Matt Riddle, and if so, what do you think of him?
Man, I haven't seen enough, but yes, I've heard of him.
I don't know how much you've seen of him. I don't know if you've seen enough to gauge this yourself, but I think that if used correctly, he could be the next Rob Van Dam. Do you agree with that?
Man, I haven't seen enough of him to form that opinion, and that's just being straight up. I could sit here and shake my head and say yes, but I haven't seen enough of the guy.
Well, he's pretty unique. He's like kind of an MMA crossover. He started in the UFC. He got what many consider to be the best knockout ever on Ultimate Fighter. He's just got a lot of accolades, and he's just adding to it more and more. His stock's rising like crazy. So, I don't know.
Man, I've heard the same good things about him. I know, he was that same knockout that you speak of, but I haven't been able to watch enough of the business in general, not just Matt Riddle. I haven't hardly seen anything other than WWE pay-per-views. So it's just a hard question for me to give you a totally honest answer because I just haven't seen enough of the kid, along with hardly anybody else. Hey, man, I'm sorry I'm not up to speed enough to give you a better answer on that, but I'll tell you what, I'll do some homework. I have seen a lot of stuff on Twitter about the guy. I know that he does possess a lot of potential from what I've heard. I just haven't seen the guy actually work, and I've only seen one fight, so I'll do my homework, and I'll see if I can get you an answer on a future podcast.
Okay.
All right, man, take care. Let's go to Jeremy in North Carolina.
Hey, how you doing?
Hell, man, I'm doing all right. What about you?
I'm just sitting around, kind of surprised I got a chance to talk to you. You've always been one of my favorite heroes.
Hey, man, I appreciate your patience being on hold. What do you want to talk about today?
I was just wondering if y'all was thinking about coming out. You know how you got the Broken Skull beard,
Yep.
IPA. If y'all was coming out with a light flavor.
You know, when you say light beer to a craft beer brewer, they kind of look at you like, you know, because for a lot of craft people they're about the craft, but for an IPA type beer beer maker to think about a light beer, it's a little bit of a switch for them. Here's the thing. I'm an IPA drinker, and that's my taste right now. And I drank light beer for 30 years. And then finally I came out to California, and I started hearing about all these damn craft beers. I said, man, what is all this about? I said, I got to give them a try. So anyway, I started messing around. I started drinking those pale ales. I said, you know, hey, man, this is some pretty good stuff. I enjoy this. And it's a little bit better beer than a light beer. And again, I've been drinking this shit for 30 years. So then I started messing with those IPAs. I was like, man, that's a little much on those hops. I don't know about that. I went back to the pale ales. And then a pale ale didn't have enough hops in it. So I just said, man, that IPA is for me. And I've been drinking IPAs ever since. But here's the thing. IPA is what I drink, but I will drink light beer still as long as it's got a taste to it. And if you do the arithmetic, light beers across the board are the number one selling beers in the United States of America. So as a businessman, as a businessman, it would be a smart idea to come out with a light beer, because here's a story for you within a story, within an answer. I was down at Christmas at the Broken Skull Ranch a couple of years ago, and I had my Broken Skull IPA with me. My little sister was down there with my nephew and my niece, and I was in there drinking with Ted Fowler 361, and she said, is that your beer? I said, yeah. And she was a Bud Light drinker, still is. And let me finish the story. She took a swig of that beer, and she looked at me, and she had this look on her face, and she didn't want to hurt my feelings, but that beer was not for her. And I picked her up. I immediately said, hey, I said, don't worry about it. I said, it took me a year and a half, 2 years to get to this IPA flavor. You drink light beer, so this is out of your league right now, or not out of your league, but out of your wheelhouse. So she was cool with it, and she's not an IPA fan, and not everybody is, but I see a tremendous market for light beer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a beer drinker myself. I like full flavored. But just listen to your show. I've tried a couple of IPAs down here in North Carolina, but some of them is like too strong hops, or just, I don't know, maybe just ain't a good brand. I don't know.
Everything is subjective. Like, I think my beer is a badass beer, and it is. But beer is subjective. You and me can be sitting there drinking two full-flavored beers, and whatever you think is bad, I might think is great, and vice versa. So, you know, it's really a subjective thing. When it all comes down to it, proof is in the numbers. You know, if people are selling a lot of stuff, it's probably got to be good, or people want to be associated with that brand as well. Proof is in the pudding, or proof is in the beer, and that's the bottom line. But it's all subjective, man. You said you had one more question for me. What is it?
I've never really heard somebody ask you this question about wrestling, about your career, former career. Have you ever had the thought of maybe just going back, not to get in the ring, but kind of finding a way to pass over the beer drinking gimmick to someone that deserves it?
Man, I tell you what, that would be a hell of an endorsement, and it would be cool to do that, and I would be fine with someone doing that. But then they might always kind of be looming underneath that branch of Stone Cold Steve Austin, rather than being their own thing or making it their own thing and doing their own thing. So it could either boost somebody, or you might saddle them with something that they couldn't really get over. So I don't know. That's a real good question, but I would be down with passing the stunner along to someone who deserved it. I'm not going to use it anymore. They could use it. Then again, Stone Cold Steve Austin is always going to come to mind anytime you use that thing, probably for the next foreseeable future. But that would be cool.
Well, that's just like the RKO what Randy Orton uses with Diamond Dallas Page.
Absolutely. Randy Orton has done great things with the RKO, and probably someone could with the stunner. So, yeah, I'd be down with it, man. All they got to do is give me a call.
That's just something that just crossed my mind, something I've never really heard somebody, ask you that.
Yeah, I tell you what, I know Willie Mack's using it over there in Lucha Underground. I hear about it on Twitter a lot. I think it's awesome that he's using it, and it's been effective for him. And he's a talented performer, so he's able to carry that gimmick and stay with his gimmick and do both. So props to Willie Mack for using it over in Lucha Underground. I appreciate you calling, Jeremy.
All right, I don't want to take too much time.
Thank you, man. Take care of yourself. Let's go to Juan in El Paso.
Hey, man, I can't believe it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, man.
You got me. What's happening?
Oh, not much, man. Thanks for taking my call, and thanks for taking everybody's calls, man. That's really cool of you to do something like this.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys listening to the show. We got a chance to come over here and open up the phone lines, and it's, god dang, I appreciate you guys listening. So here we are talking. And let me ask you a question, Juan. How old are you?
I'm 37.
You still living in El Paso? Yep. I got to say, man, I used to drive back and forth from Los Angeles to the Broken Skull Ranch and from the Broken Skull Ranch to Los Angeles. And that stretch from El Paso, it's about, when you get on the front side of El Paso to the back side, it's about 26 miles across. Holy smokes. What is up with the drivers over there?
Oh, I know. That's what I was like, man, because we were stationed in Italy for a couple of years, too, and I thought those guys were bad. And then coming back here to El Paso, I was like, man, it's insane, like, even driving home.
Hey, man, sometimes I drive to El Paso, I'll be talking, I got my headset on my cell phone, and when I get to El Paso, I just tell people, I said, hey, man, I'm hanging up. I'm going to have my hands at 10 and 2. I got my seatbelt on. I don't want any damn distractions. These son of bitches in El Paso, and I love El Paso, and I love wrestling there.
Yeah.
And Austin's a close second to El Paso as far as bad drivers in Texas, and I was born in Austin.
Yeah.
But god dang it, people can't drive over there, and they ain't got a loop around the city. But anyway, enough about traffic and bullshit. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. You got any wrestling questions for me?
Yeah, actually, well, I just did want to say one thing, too. Speaking of about wrestling in El Paso, I had actually seen you back when you were still Stunning Steve, and WCW came through. That was actually my first house show that I went to. We even got to like kind of meet you. Well, you were just kind of still walking like through it was like after the show, but it was cool because you kind of stayed in character. We were like, oh, it's Stunning Steve, and you were just like doing like a nod, kind of like, hey. But we because you still had the TV title back then.
Oh, I still had the TV title. I tell you what, I just someone emailed me that match the other day, and I watched it back, and it was like when I won that television title off Bobby Eaton there at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia. I think I'd had about a year and a half, 2 years tops in the business, and Bobby Eaton is one of my favorite workers of all time. I was happy that I got a chance to win that title, but I was not in Bobby's league as far as work in the ring, so it was a blessing to win that belt. It was a blessing that they had, some hope in me at that young stage of my career when I came in with that long hair and that aggressive attitude. But make no mistake about it, I wasn't in Bobby Eaton's league. But what kind of question you got for me?
I was gonna speaking of that, how you were how I was saying you were kind of in heel character still. My question is, who do you think today? I guess maybe WWE, or even if you want to speak on other federations, but who do you think has that breakout heel potential, the real heel, the old school heel, like you and Brian Kendrick were talking about?
Man, as far as old school heels go, I mean, that's going to be hard to do in today's landscape. So, I don't really see that as far as WWE goes, and I don't get a chance to watch the other places. With all due respect, I'll tell you what. Do you get a chance to watch any New Japan stuff?
Oh yeah, I actually subscribe to the New Japan, and I'm really liking Marty Scurll. That dude's got the whole Bullet Club. They have that.
They got that swagger.
They have a lot of fans.
They got that swagger.
They do have that swagger, man.
Yeah. When you say Marty Scurll, I was going to say him, but also the guy I was going to say is Kenny Omega. Now he's not an old school heel. Yeah. That dude he's and I won't call him new school either because he's a veteran, but he's just edgy. He can work his ass off. Yeah. He lays his shit in. Everything looks good. His psychology is off the charts. That's a guy that when I watch that guy, I'm like, hey, man, when is this guy having another high-profile match? Because I want to watch it. He's really a guy that I've had my eye on, and I don't watch enough New Japan, but when that guy has a high-profile match, I will watch it because he is that good. He's also fluent in Japanese, so when you listen to his promos, he goes in and starts speaking in Japanese. It blew my mind because he lives there. So it's smart on his part, but it makes him such a well-rounded, believable guy. And he starts talking that shit in Japanese. I'm like, holy smoke, this guy's lights out. I think he could be the next big star in the United States if he ever decides to come here.
Yeah, he is. I got to see him actually live one time for ROH. It was when WrestleMania when they were in Phoenix, and we got to see Kenny Omega wrestle live. And yeah, just like, and he had that, I don't know, like, I mean, everybody else, you talk to him or whatever, but he just had that kind of larger than life where you're kind of like.
He jumps off the page at you. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he jumps off the page at you, and all of a sudden he starts talking. You're like, hey, man, this guy's a little different. And I mean that by he's like, you know that this guy's a star. And so, I don't know, I just think the guy's he's just a great entertainer. He's a great wrestler. That's what you have to be. You have to be both of those, and he is, and he just crosses over to the next level. But, hey, Juan, I appreciate you calling into the show, man.
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call, man. I really appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing. I always enjoy the podcast. So,
hey, man, if you ever head back through El Paso, hands your 10 at 2, put your seatbelt on, and head on a swivel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. See you later. All right, everybody, give me the go-home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off into the sunset. Before I do that, I want to thank everybody for sending in them phone calls. And, shit, I ain't got a video of the week for you. I'm out here hustling, trying to scratch up a finish the last 2 days of filming, but I'll have something for your ass on Tuesday. You can guarantee that. Hey, man, a couple of quick shout-outs. ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin has all the shirts that I will be wearing on this season of Broken Skull Challenge. And we just started filming, and we're about to complete Season 5. New shirts right around the corner. I got the best damn IPA on the planet. It's called Broken Skull IPA. You can find Broken Skull IPA at Whole Foods and Total Wines if you live in California. If you go to a Whole Foods or Total Wines and they don't carry it, ask the manager why they don't and get it. If you ain't in Cali, check InsideTheCellar.com and see if they ship to your state. Hey, man, if you're looking to get a badass knife and you're looking for the Cold Steel Broken Skull knife or the new Working Man knife, you can get them at my new Amazon store. Amazon has the best price on both knives. Just go to Amazon.com/shop/Steve Austin. I want to say one more thank you to all the fine sponsors of the Steve Austin Show. That's how I'm able to do this podcast for you twice a week for free. And you can find all my sponsors at PodcastOne.com. Just click on the Killer Deals button at the top of the page and then click on the Steve Austin Show banner. Hey, folks, this has been 5 weeks of grueling filming out here while I try to continue this podcast. I thank you for bearing with me while I was in the filming process. I'm looking forward to cranking out some badass shows for you here starting next Tuesday. I don't know who my goddamn guest's going to be. I'll dig into woodwork and find somebody. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Steve Austin BSR. Folks, until next time, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
Download new episodes of Steve Austin Unleashed every Thursday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
We're coming at you with everything we got!
This is the mindset. Free. This is the mantra. Free. This is the mindset. With movies like Pineapple Express, the entire Star Trek film franchise, and Gladiator, and TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts, Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.